Hello, you're watching Ready, Retire, Fire. So today I'm going to tell you about my bank account journey. I just opened my bank account at Kasikorn Bank, the KBank, it's the green bank. Green's my favorite color, so it worked out actually awesome for me. So I'll tell you what I did. So when you're coming to Thailand and you're gonna get a non-O visa, for myself it was a marriage visa, which happened to be the most complicated part about it. You're gonna need to put 400,000 baht in the bank account and keep it there for pretty much forever. For 2 months for your first year extension, and then 3 months for every extension after that. So basically, you got to keep that 400K in there forever. So that 400,000 baht comes out to about 12,380 US dollars as of today. So the first thing I did was I went home. We live in Mae Hong Son in a small village. They don't have any banks there. So we went to the city of Pai in Mae Hong Son. We felt like that would be the best option because they have a little, foreign population there. I felt like they would, have experience opening bank accounts for foreigners. I was wrong. So we went to the Krungthai Bank in Pai first, and we asked them to open a bank account. So they wanted me to get a residence certificate, and they actually didn't know what the non-O visa for marriage was. So they went back in their handbook, they pulled out the handbook, and they asked for my visa. I showed them the non-O visa, and they had no idea what I was talking about, and they had to go look in the bank, in the handbook for the bank, to see what I was even trying to open. They told me I would need to get a residence certificate to be able to open a bank account. And so I went to the immigration office and I asked for a residence certificate. They charged me 500 baht for that. I went back to the bank and they said, we're actually just not going to open a bank account for you at all. Alright, so next I went to the Kasikorn Bank, the KBank, Green Bank in Pai. Same thing, they were not going to open a bank account for me because I didn't have whatever documents they wanted. Probably even if I got those documents, they were going to give it to me anyways. So, failed in Pai. Went back home for the night. Next day, we went over, drove all through the mountains again, 3.5 hours to Chiang Mai. So we go to the Bangkok Bank. They want more documents. Not willing to open a bank account for me because I didn't have whatever documents they want. Maybe it was like a 1 year. Oh, some of them wanted me to have a 1 year visa. Well, I explained to them that to get the 1 year visa, I'm going to need to have a bank account with 400,000 baht in it to get that 1 year extension. They were unwilling to open the bank. So I went over to the Krungsri Bank, that's the yellow bank. I used to have an account there when I first moved to Thailand, 12 years ago. However, back then I had a business visa, so it might have been different. So I took my stuff there. I told them, I want to open the bank account. They were unwilling to because I didn't have the yellow book. Oh, so they wanted me to have a yellow book. So the yellow book is a book that foreigners get when they, live in a place. You don't really have to get it, but my wife has the blue book. The blue book shows her residence in a house. The yellow book would be the same thing, but for foreigners. Anyways, I met with the manager at that bank, and he told me, why don't you just buy a condo? It'll be easier for you to open a bank. I was like, I'm not going to buy a condo. I own a house already. He's like, all right, well, you need to get this yellow book. So without the yellow book, we're not going to open the bank account for you. I was like, all right, whatever. Yellow bank, yellow book. Okay, I got you. So I went over next to the Krungthai Bank. They were not willing to open the bank account for me either, based on the fact that my bank account, again wasn't, or that my visa rather wasn't a 1-year visa. So I don't know if they just don't understand that you need to have a bank account in order to get that 1-year visa. So I met with the manager at that bank. He said we're gonna submit your forms to the central office and see if we can get you a bank account. We'll get back to you in 3 weeks. Yeah, right. So next I went to the Kasikorn Bank, the KBank, that's the green bank. I brought all my documents over there, told them that I wanted to open a bank account. They looked at my documents, they said, oh, but you live in Mae Hong Son and you're in Chiang Mai. You can't open a bank account here. I was like, oh man, I was devastated. I wasn't devastated. This was the sixth time I've applied to a bank, so I was like, all right, whatever. My wife was like, but we come to Chiang Mai all the time. The bank teller was like, oh, okay, in that case, we'll open the bank account for you, but you're gonna have to pay all kinds of fees. I was like, what's the fee? Like, well, every time you want to have a transaction, it's gonna be a 20 baht fee. I'm like, you kidding me? You're like giving me grief over like 40 cents transaction fees? I'm like, all right, whatever. So, opened the bank account, no problem. It's in my own name. Got my bank book. Next thing is I got to deposit the 400,000 baht into the bank account. It's about 12,700. So I'm able to do that from my app. I got Wells Fargo Bank at home. You can do it right on the app. Send a wire transfer. The bank gave me the SWIFT code. I got my account number, and I sent over the wire transfer online. It came through same day as I sent it. Actually, I sent it on Saturday, so it didn't come through until Monday, but it came through first thing on Monday. I got the money right into my bank account. The exchange rate was pretty good. They gave me 32.11 baht per dollar, which is a pretty good going rate right now. It's it's average. It's the same as what I got for my cash actually at the money exchangers for my pristine $100 bills. If you're going to come with cash, you want to bring pristine $100 or $50 bills. They will give you the best exchange rate for those. However, I sent a wire transfer over from my bank. Got to my bank account. Like I said, I got the 32.11, and that's actually after all the fees because I'm just taking what I got in my account, dividing by what I sent, and it comes out to 32.11. So now I just got to keep that money in there for 2 months, and then I'll be eligible to apply for my 1-year extension. So I just got my bank book. I'm going to go to the Passbook updating machine. Basically in Thailand you get these bank books, and inside of it just says like your whole transaction history. So you can go to the bank and put it into the machine, and it'll print out your transaction history up to date. So I'm going to need that, and probably I'll need a letter from the bank itself just confirming that I do have that 400K in there, and that I've had it in there for 2 months, and then I'll be eligible for my 1-year extension. So that was my journey of getting my bank account in Thailand. Let me know if it was easier for you or if there was something else I missed. But if you're going to get a bank account in Northern Thailand based on a marriage visa, so you can season your money, I can recommend KBank to you at Central Festival Chiang Mai, since they were able to open my bank account, and that was the 6th place I had to try. So
what document you use?
So the documents that I had to submit to open my bank account were my passport with my non-O visa, my marriage certificate to show that I'm married. Ideally, they want the original copy. Third, I had to submit my wife's ID and Tam Dien Ban, her blue book for the house to show that she lives there. Fourth, I had to show my residence certificate to show that I live there. And they actually also asked me for my international driver's permit for whatever reason. I gave that to them as well. And I think they asked for a passport size photo as well. So I gave that to them. And that was it. I was able to open my bank account at the KBank. They gave me the ATM card and the passbook. The ATM card cost me 300 baht. And I guess the account itself has an annual fee of 250 baht per year, regardless of how much money you've got in there. So that's fine, I guess. So I put, over 400,000. So in case there's any fees or whatever, make sure that the 400,000 is always there and it doesn't dip below that amount. So that was my journey of opening a bank account. Let me know if it was easier for you or if you have any questions. Drop me a like, a comment, subscribe, do all the good stuff. See you next time.